When did you start modeling?
So I used to be a flight attendant. And just before I became a flight attendant, I've done a couple of assignments. But then flying was my dream, the desire.
Okay.
I wanted to be a flight attendant. I wanted to be in that uniform. And I did that. And right after that, I remember when I quit flying, it was such an impulsive decision. I had nothing to bank on. I was not an established model at that time. I didn't know what I was going to do, but I was so excited. I had no idea what I was going to do, but I knew I needed to trust, and I just had to jump into that decision. But I had nothing to bank on. It didn't matter at all. So I quit flying. For about 2 months, I was just meditating. I was just going to temple and just sitting. I had so much time. I had a bicycle with me, and there was a temple nearby. I would just go there, sit and meditate every day. And I just loved that calmness and no schedule. There's no, oh, you have a flight tomorrow. Because I knew that was complete. I didn't quit because I was tired. I quit because it felt complete. An experience when it's only when we push beyond our ability, we get to a point where we've hit that, oh my God, I can't do this anymore. But I believe sometimes you must allow yourself to find that completion without the next thing in front of you. So I allowed myself to feel complete and I stepped out of it. For about a couple of months, I wasn't doing anything. I had no portfolio because portfolios were quite expensive. And I didn't feel the need to want to. I just thought if I'm meant to become a model, it'll happen. It happened. I didn't do a portfolio. I did not send it out to people. I became a model word of mouth.
Okay.
So there is a possibility also, right? Like I met a couple of people and then they asked me to come. My first assignment. Do you want to know what happened in my first?
Yes.
So for my first photo shoot, they asked me for a portfolio. Of course, like I said, I did not have a portfolio. So they said, ask her to show up. Now, I don't know how to show up as a model.
Okay.
People see potential in me. I'm banking on what people are seeing. They said, you can be a model. You should come. Have you tried modeling? No, that's how I was called. I was sitting in a random exhibition and making announcements. Please visit stall number. And then, Shobha and Vidya. Have you heard of Shobha and Vidya?
No.
They used to conduct Miss Chennai.
Okay.
They're sisters and they're amazing. So one of them walked up to me and said, would you like to be a model? I didn't want to say no because who wants to say no to that? But I had no energy in me to say, like, no courage in me to say yes. Why would I say yes? Like, it's huge. So I just smiled, an awkward smile. I'm not going to say yes. She said, come and meet me. So they got me onto the ramp. I started my ramp shows with them. And then I got a call from someone else asking me for my portfolio. And I said, I don't have it. I said, cool. Meet the client. That was the first time. Come meet the client. So I'm meeting photographer for the first time. I don't even know how this whole thing works. So I went to this really famous brand and for saris. And so the client and the photographer, they're waiting for me. I reached and the client looked at the photographer and said, cannot take her. She's not going to be a fitting model for what we are looking for. I don't know from where the photographer had so much faith in me. He said, trust me. You come to this, give her one shot. Come to the studio tomorrow. But he has never met me himself. Okay. I think it's just how people see potential in you, right? He said, come to the studio tomorrow, have a look at her, and then you decide. So this was supposed to be a lookbook shoot. And then he said, yeah, okay, come to the studio. And so I went there, and of course they transformed with the sari and makeup and everything. And the client walked into the studio. He couldn't believe it was the same person.
Okay.
Because these guys obviously did their work on me. And I didn't know. When I went to meet the client, I didn't know how to dress up. I didn't know how to show up. What are they going to like? I didn't even think so much. I can tell now that I wasn't thinking so much. They said, come, I went. It's like, come over. Okay, show up. And then at that time when it was just supposed to be like lookbook, they blew up that picture and put it in front of their store. And that's when it started for me. And this was even before I flew. So after flying, I knew that kind of helped me get a few opportunities. And then one after another, every time I did one assignment, I got 3 other assignments. And then it just built on its own because I see it was a part of my path.
In this journey, have you noticed a pattern where whenever you were never obsessed about the outcome, it just started to flow so easily in your life?
Absolutely. Absolutely. Being obsessed with outcome can never help. Even if you do get the experience, the actual outcome, it doesn't help. You know why? Because we have traded so much of our time and playfulness and presence for an outcome. So when we actually enjoy the outcome, we are so disconnected from our presence and playful. We have forgotten what it is to do for so long that we are so attached to outcome that we are so in our head. So even if we actually enjoy it, there is a lot that you've traded, but you don't need to trade that, because being attached to outcome does not mean we don't know the outcome.
Yes.
We can never know the outcome.
Yes.
So we may as well enjoy the process, but by being fully dedicated. Be dedicated, put your heart in it, hustle if you need to, if that's your path, right? I can say, no, there is no such thing as hustle. But I have gone through different phases of hustling, not hustling. I don't think I hustle too much anyway. I like that balance. But if that's a part of your journey, who am I to tell you, don't hustle, you need to reconnect, you need to rewind. You'll be like, no way, I have a dream that's nothing close to yours. So this is needed for me. Then I can simply drop a reminder, hey, don't forget to connect with yourself. Now that can land. Like, yeah, okay. What do you mean now? What should I do? Present a couple of frameworks. Okay, I'm going to do this. Let's see how this can help me. So it's not about telling someone not to do something. Oh, don't be attached to outcome. Hey, but don't forget to be here. I'm enjoying your company. I'm enjoying your presence. It's amazing when you're, not thinking about it. A couple of days ago, I met someone who's so, this person had completely dedicated every ounce of energy and time towards a certain outcome. And that is still happening. It's still a process. But in that 1 hour of conversation somewhere, I heard this person say, wow, I've actually forgotten about this. And I was like, wow, that just feels so good. How does it feel for you? Wow, it feels really good to just... But of course, it's there at the back of the mind. But why does it feel so good when we take the weight off? Because the body or the inner self wants us to pause. It's always asking us to pause in such different ways, so presenting different opportunities. But if we keep then it can only do so much, right? Then we have our eyes on, I gotta go this way. Go this way. This is the path. You already know the path. You know this is what you want to do. This is how much you want to work. Take a breath. Look around you. That ultimately it's about asking, is this how you want to enjoy your life? Is this how I really want to enjoy my life? Where I've only spoken about, this is what I've done. I had a structure. I went with this. I hustled. Yeah, but did you look around you? Did you do something fun? Something out of the ordinary? What's extraordinary? Something out of the ordinary. Which means something out of what I usually do, something out of the usual. So doing something that is not a part of the habit, but stopping to, let's say, as you walk up, stopping to compliment someone who works somewhere, or to do something that's just different because you're doing the same thing every day. We get so used to doing the same thing, we don't pause. And then we're just on a roll. But if we could constantly, consciously break out of it, not a lot, not by far, but just, that's beautiful. It immediately changes the energy. There is a shift in the energy to be able to pause and to observe things that you haven't observed before.
And when you speak about deflecting slightly from the mundane things that we do, some people thrive really well when they're disciplined, and some people thrive well when they're very spontaneous. So how do we find a balance between the two?
I feel like I'm such a good example for this, for my own self. I don't know about others, but for me, I have definitely struggled. This is one thing I've realized: being spontaneous has its pros and cons, right? Sometimes I feel like even being so present has its pros and cons. I have found myself so lost in track of time, wherever I am, that I've forgotten and the next appointment that I have. Now, how can I justify it? No one's going to listen to that. It would just seem disrespectful. So we need to plan in a way where I can allow myself to be present, set an alarm, show up. So setting an alarm is what? Discipline.
Discipline, yeah.
But me being in a state of flow is where I'm not thinking about it, but the alarm is there. The alarm is going to guide me, but I'm going to be in a state of flow. So now I'm not thinking about it. But if I'm thinking, oh, I have to do this, I have to do this, I have to go, what is the time? I don't want to look at the time. I just want to set an alarm and let go now. I'm able to strike a balance between being spontaneous and having to show up for something. So that's a balance. Small practices. How could I bring in, if I'm feeling spontaneous, how could I bring in like one layer of discipline here? In order for me to perform, in order for me to expand my capacity. Like discipline is needed for meditation and even our inner practice as journaling. There's discipline that's needed. Yeah, I am spontaneous, but it's two things. It's like masculine and feminine energy coming in together for us to experience the best version of ourselves. So if I'm feeling so spontaneous, what is it that I can do to actually get me from here? Because I could just then go into a state where I don't want to do anything. No, I want something done. No. How can we say something needs to be done? If I've got to do it, I've got to get up and do it. Because I am my whole self. That's the choice that I have made, right? Then how do I do it? Bring in strands of discipline into spontaneity and bring in strands of spontaneity into your disciplined life. Just bring in a little bit. It's not about balance. It's not 50-50. It could just be an introduction of something. You have like a tight schedule today. Then you tell someone who's working for you, hey, in my schedule, if you could just take 10 minutes for me. I feel like maybe just listening to music and moving my body.